What you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? Some squads switch up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. And who's the king? Who's just a jester? Who reminds me of Devin Hester? Who's playing like they left her, hitting hoes for pleasure, while y'all search yours for treasure to no measure. I find mine with less effort and no sweat work. The best perk is that I'm always right. My opinion shouldn't cause a fight, but they might out at night cause your QB bites. So now it's on sight, I'm just looking down sights, waiting for a slip up. Dog, your shoelaces make you trip up, so you should find a zip up and pull it to where your fucking list was. Check yourself, this ain't get up, it's been up since the last countdown. Working on the fucking craft that they always count out. This is down now, but not out, so what you talking about? Don't get it twisted, I'm pulling switches like a pilot. I'm not flying, I'm just driving. I'm smiling cause life is gravy, stuff with struggles, but that's what fucking made me. Haters with turkeys, eating wormies, they ain't worthy, they do me dirty. But I'm not Brock Purdy, more like Tom Shirley. I know you heard me, but did you hear me? I said I know you heard me, but did you hear me? My dumb ass. Am I good? Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? So swatch this up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. Hey, and who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king? Put your rain down. Man, I don't care what you think about. Get out my chat, that's the thing about. Let's go. It's power rankings time. It's week 16 time. And if you're in fantasy, either you're in or you're out. But for me, I'm out. That's it for me for fantasy. I got beat by Mr. J. Son of a... What are you going to do? Just going to go on and be the league manager and watch everyone beat each other until a fist, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the end of our fantasy playoffs, but more importantly, I can't wait to see people's reactions when they see my co-host and I power rankings today. How you doing, Sil?
Oh, we here. Yes. Week 16, definitely, it's time to separate the elite.
Yes, sir.
As best as we can. I can't make my mind up on a few of these teams, though. We'll talk about it.
I know, man. It's like I was looking at both of our lists. I'm like, man, they're very similar this week. There's only like one or two teams that are not on the same top 10, but where everyone's shifting, it's kind of like, I don't know, like a jigsaw puzzle. Like one team moves and the three other teams stay in the same order, but they all shift up. It's like who's gonna be who, but that's what it is at this point in the season, man. We think we know who teams are, and then they come out and they throw a dud. You're like, whoa, what was that? Oh, we got to be wary of that now. Like, that's not what we expected. And I know people who are listening are like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly. You might not. You might not, because still didn't even know that he Sparta kicked a team this week. He said NA on his list.
I have a reason for it.
Okay.
I changed my philosophy a little bit.
Okay. Maybe he's gently letting them out of the gates of Sparta. He's not kicking them down the hole. But what's good, Israel? I'll see you in the chat, man. I appreciate you being here. Mark, man, we always talk about sports, dude. We always talk about sports. Yeah. Hey, Mark, you're in the right spot if you want to talk about sports too, man. If the NFL is going on, that trumps everything. Sorry. We love Rebel Moon. We love Snyder, but NFL trumps everything. I mean, that's why they're advertising Rebel Moon on NFL Sunday this season. I mean, you know, it all interconnects. It all comes in one place. It's where the sports world meets the geeks world, like Syl says, Syl Nation Sports Network. So, Mark, appreciate you being here. Money Train James, of course, yeah. Lions. We'll see if they make my list, man. We'll see if they make my list. But a lot of action happened this weekend, and a lot of teams, they either kept progressing or they had a major setback, which this is not the time of the year where you want to do that. You don't want to take any steps back. We've always heard, like, after Thanksgiving, especially during the Patriots dynasty, is like that's when football matters the most. But it's true, because depending on how these next couple of weeks go with all of these playoff bound teams and all the teams that are in the top 10, they might either make or break their playoffs. Like, some of them might, okay, we're in the playoffs, but you could set yourself up for a good playoff run or a bad playoff run, like either having home field advantage or not having home field advantage. That's why it's important not to be like, okay, yeah, we're in the playoffs, and take your foot off the gas at this point in the season, because like confidence and momentum is also a huge thing going into the playoffs. So if you just kind of skid your way in, how many years did you see the Indianapolis Colts do that, dude? Like, just take their foot off the gas, go into the playoffs, and then they go into the playoffs and they lose. You're like, whoa, what the hell? This isn't the same regular season team that we thought. So so probably the most important time of the year right now in football. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, post Thanksgiving, you know, that's when things get serious.
Yeah, dude. Massive game this Thursday. Mark, you'll have to let us know what the game is on Thursday. I didn't even look it up, but I will right now. But while I do that, I'm going to pull up our first little rankings. So, Mark, we do rankings since you're new here. Anybody else who's new here, we do our bottom five. We do Syl's bottom five and the MVPs, and we do my Mount Passmore. You've heard of Mount Rushmore before. This is Mount Passmore, the top passing QBs, in my opinion, and the ones that have been playing consistently over, a period of weeks. I say up until week 15. My opinion, the top 4 in the league that I like. I go off stats too, obviously. I don't just like, oh, who's my favorite? Baker Mayfield at the top? Nah, he's not in the Mount Passmore, unfortunately, every week. So let's start off with that, actually, the Mount Passmore. Let me pull that up. Boom, and slide us on over here. So you could see here who it is. And I'm sorry, Money Train James already in the chat, probably like, oh, where's Jared Goff? I put him there. I put him there.
His name's there.
His name's on there. His name's on there. Rams are playing this Thursday. Okay, so he says Rams playoff chances go to 75% if they win, or 11% if they lose. Yeah, that's huge. That is big time. That's big time.
Be here Thursday, Mark. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, Thursday countdown, buddy. We'll be here Thursday. Actually, we'll have to do that before, because 10 p.m. is the Rebel Moon premiere. I'm like, wait a second, when's the Rebel Moon premiere? That would be one thing that I actually trump. But who are the Rams playing? Let me just look at. It's Rams Saints. That might be a quick Thursday countdown. Matthew Stafford has been balling the last 4 to 5 weeks. Absolutely, man. You better come back for our awards at the end of the season. He is the surefire Dad of the Year award winner at this point. But yeah, they're both 7-7. They look like 2 different teams, in my opinion, the Saints and the Rams. But yeah, come back on Thursday, Mark. We'll talk about that then. Right now, it's the Mount Passmore. The most controversial person on this list, I know, is probably going to be Josh Allen. But he, for me, has been playing the most consistent as far as passing goes, not just on the ground, where Lamar Jackson would be the top if it was a Mount Passmore and around Rushmore. Dak Prescott did dip this week.
He went from first in TDs and like first in completion percentage to down to second in TDs, third in completion percentage. He was fourth in yards last week. He went down a spot in yards, but he's still top 5, top 4 in all the categories that matter to me, which is like QBR and quarterback rating, completion percentage, which is important to me because it doesn't matter how many times you pass it, how many the amount of those passes are actually getting to where they got to go and not to the other team. Purdy, you're absolutely right, Israel. He's back up on there, man. I had to add another category that he was leading this week, man. He's leading the QBR, he's leading the quarterback rating, and now he's leading in touchdowns this season, man. Earlier this season, that was kind of like the caveat. Like, yeah, he's got great numbers, but he doesn't have touchdowns. He's not scoring a lot. He's leading. He's leading in touchdowns right now. He's also second in completion percentage, second in yards per game, and second in yards. All right, well, who's first? Tua Tagovailoa, first in yards per game, first in completion percentage. He's second in quarterback rating. He's actually fifth in touchdowns too. Over there at Tua. As far as numbers goes with Josh Allen, he's third in TDs, third in quarterback rating. He's eighth in yards. And I put that there just because there's from like 10 to 5, it's only like 50 yards difference between everybody. So it's really kind of neck and neck with those people. 50 to 60, I think. And then he does have a cool stat this season. He's got the longest completion all season, which who knows? Maybe it was a 5-yard pass and it went for an 80 or 70-yard run, but 81 yards. And the person who has the second highest completion percentage, or second highest, longest, I should say, completion this year is actually Lamar Jackson. He's got an 80-yard completion this year, which is pretty cool. As far he's only a runner. Nah, he can pass it too. He can dot the ball. And then down there, you see honorable mentions. Jake Browning. He's not first anymore, but he's technically second in quarterback rating, completion percentage, and I believe QBR. He's like fifth, if I'm not mistaken. But his numbers have only dipped like one for quarterback rating. It went from 110 to 107, and from completion percentage, it went down from 75 to 73. So it's not a huge dip in numbers, but obviously, the more you play, the more those numbers have a chance to go down. But he's playing great, man. One of the best, I shouldn't say the best, but one of the best backups this season. Joe Flacco is definitely trying to take his name in there, put his name in the pot, and Gardner Minshew. Maybe that's another award we got to have this season at the end of the year. Is backup of the year, backup of the season, or something like that.
Yeah, we'll probably need it for this season.
Yeah, exactly. Next man up. Goff over Tua. Come on now.
Come on. Come on
now. It's on you. Yeah.
That was a terrible take right there, man. That was terrible.
Come on, man. You think my list
just off numbers, bro. Come on, buddy.
First in yards per game. Come on, man. First in completion percentage. Get out of here, dog.
Homer of the Year award right there.
Homer of the Year. Yes. Our award show is going to be the best, dude.
That just upsetting me.
That's hilarious, dude. Yo, and shout out 187 coming through saying MV Party. That's a perfect segue to go right to the bottom 5 and the MVPs that we got from Syl. So that's my Mount Passmore of week 16. The bottom 5 and MVPs from Syl of week 16 right here. Panthers didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, the Panthers, they won a game this past week, so I didn't have to freak out too much because they still only have 2 wins. Everyone has 3 losses or more, so it's okay, Panthers. You actually go win another one the last 3 weeks here. We're okay. Just don't get carried away there, Panthers. If people don't realize, my Bears has the Panthers pick next draft due to the DJ Moore trade. Just it all makes sense, right? So they securely at the bottom. Chargers not too far away from them because the way the Chargers showed up, giving up 60 plus, getting their coach fired. Like he basically was fired on the field. Basically, it just felt like it.
Bro, coach and GM in a one foul swoop.
Yeah. That's how you get your coaches and GM fired as well. So, yikes. So they're going to be securely down there because Herbert's out for the rest of the year as well. Chargers gave up. Jets. I mean, hey, I had them like close to even being a bubble team for the power ranking. Then it all just went away in one fell swoop. The Aaron Rodgers experiment is over. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just practicing. I wasn't really trying to come back." Like, okay, bro. Okay, bro. So yeah, Jets not going to win too many more games. We'll see what happens with the coaching staff. Commanders, they've given up before the trade deadline. We understand what happened with them. Patriots keep trying to play, but they just don't have enough talent,
Yeah.
So that's why they're still stuck there in the bottom 5. Again, all these top 5, it's about viable draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers, obviously they don't matter, but the Commanders could get some good people. Patriots, I just thought they would try to lose more because, they can get their new quarterback, right? So, Raiders, well, actually, Israel says here, are we keeping Fields? Man, it's like 50. I hate to say it like this, it's like 50-50, man. Like there's people that supporting the Fields thing, and then there's, you know what I mean? It's really weird right now. It's very weird. We'll see. Well, I'm on board. I'm on board either way. I mean, let's say, okay, Panthers get, they're going to give us the first pick. So do you get a quarterback with that and then just start over, rebuild the team, or trade that pick, get like 10 draft picks and get like everything you're missing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Around Fields.
There's two schools of thought there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm intrigued either way, to be quite honest. But I think it's coming down to coaching as well, too. That's going to determine a lot. So, yeah, we're a work in progress, man. Escape from dishonor. The Raiders are still trying, so they out of the bottom 5. I will say I'm really comfortable with those 5 teams remaining in the bottom 5 for the last 3 weeks. I'm really feeling real good vibes about them being bad the rest of the way there.
That's hilarious. Good. You're feeling good vibes about them being bad.
Feeling pretty good. Now, you said Carlos talking about
my bad.
Smart to just to change coaching staff. Because this whole Belichick thing, we'll be talking about that on these countdown shows. I mean, Austin, he didn't believe those rumors. Like,
I don't like
that's
it.
What the sports rumors. They were saying this for like a couple months.
Hey, but that's the thing, though. I will say this, as being a New England Patriots fan for many, 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 many years, still am. I don't follow it as close as I do now. Osa, our Sil Nation homie, follows it a little bit closer. But there was always narratives going on around the Patriots, right? And seldomly did that ever lead to action within the facility. Seldomly. And I don't think it will now. And I think if they do react now or have some kind of reaction now, like, it's going to go poorly for them, dude. It's not going to work out well. And it's going to be a snowball effect where it's like you take the bottom like part of a scaffolding off and you just watch the whole thing just collapse. Like that's what it's going to be if you do that. I think they should go out of their way to figure out how to keep Bill there and move forward with Bill, because you have an identity. There's a reason why, like, the Steelers franchise has had an identity for so many years. They've only had 3 head coaches in the last 50 years. We've only had 1 head coach in the last 20 years. So unless we have a surefire replacement, like someone like, Bill Cowher really gave it up to Mike Tomlin on his way out. And Mike Tomlin was set up for success. Like, if we're going to do that, if we're going to move on from Bill Belichick, man, give me a replacement. Don't just, okay, we'll be better off without you. Like, no, that's not, that's the dumbest decision of all time. If that's the line of thinking. And from my perspective, I don't agree with the national narrative out there. It's like, okay, there's going to be more talk, and they have to talk about the Patriots to get, like, their clicks and things of that nature. It's almost like the Cowboys. Talking about Bill Belichick, it's a story. People are going to look at it. Any news about Bill Belichick getting fired, like, it's such a knee-jerk reaction that people are going to tune in or listen to it. So I'm never going to agree with it, but I know it's out there, and I know the rumors are getting loud.
There. It's getting really loud. So other things getting loud. The MVP candidates is shuffled a little bit these past few weeks, but it's settling. I think most people are feeling. Now, I will say this. There is a potential name that could enter the arena if CMC just goes ballistic the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He can actually jump up there and even take it from Purdy MVP, because, Christian McCaffrey is the best player on the 49ers. And everything goes through him. Purdy just has unbelievable numbers this year. So it's like,
yeah, it's hard.
If you got the best quarterback numbers and, the quarterback controls most of the game, it's going to be hard not to give it to Purdy if they keep winning and his numbers are just up there.
Right.
Dak Prescott, I have him at number 2. He had the inside track to it. It's just, he kind of laid an egg this past week and Purdy just kept, purring along. So Dak Prescott at number 2. Someone mentioned as far as with Tyreek Hill, he's not going to break the record. I don't see him breaking no record. I just don't see it. But that would have been his Tyreek Hill's chance to get the MVP. I just don't see it. But and he missed that game, and we'll see. So, and then Lamar Jackson, he's right there at number 3 playing. He's the best game manager in the league right now, which isn't a bad thing being a game manager. He's doing exactly what the team needs. Big game against Purdy this Sunday. Whew, that's gonna go, a long way mostly for let's say Lamar just balls out. And see, that's the thing with his team, he doesn't have to ball out. So it's like if Purdy just plays bad, that's gonna probably hurt Purdy more than anything.
Right.
I don't see Lamar again having those stats to leapfrog Purdy. Dak, we'll just see if Dak just regresses like he normally does. So, but right now, Brock Purdy, I feel like after that game, you saw when I messaged, I was like, game over. Brock Purdy is MVP.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That's it. And, because it's just the numbers, the wins. It's just, and Dak didn't show up. So it just, I was like, hey, just give it to him. So that's where I'm at right there. We'll see if it shakes up last couple weeks.
I definitely agree with that. And I with Israel down there in our chat saying Tom Brady says CMC is his current MVP right now, which I completely agree with. And an argument you can make for that is when CMC was hurt and injured, Brock Purdy played some of his worst football all season. And that's when they had the 3-game losing streak. As soon as CMC is back and healthy, they go back on a tear. So obviously Debo is a big factor of that too, because you have that
Debo's
dynamic.
Huge. Trent Williams, the left tackle, is huge as well. But I just say Purdy just has all the. It's hard to deny when he has all the numbers. It's like I wasn't trying to put Purdy in top 3 either. But I was like, this dude keeps he's outplaying as far as everyone with stats. All quarterbacks, he has the best numbers of all quarterbacks.
Facts.
So that's all to say.
You saw it on the Mount Passmore list, man. I had to add him leading in another category. I was like, geez, man, this dude's nuts. But shout out to Brock Purdy actually going to work and being efficient and showing the world what it looks like when a quarterback does his job correctly. It's like, oh, my God. If we stack his season up in the elite time of 2011, 2015 era, with Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, and all those quarterbacks, I really wonder how he stacks up numbers wise comparatively. And is this just because all of the other quarterbacks are so bad this season that it looks like Brock Purdy is this good? I need to take a look at that, later in the season. Been a little busy, but that's been a question on my mind. I'm like, he is really good, but is it that good? I don't know.
Well, I mean, Tua's having a good year. You see, Josh Allen is playing normal Josh Allen ball. I mean, Purdy's just having that good of a year, man.
You say that, but I think Tua, yes, he's had probably his best year, most efficient. But Dak Prescott playing his best year.
His best,
yeah. He looked like he was head and shoulders above everybody until he fell back down to earth last week. But with everybody else, it was like, I don't know. And that's just because we grew up in a very quarterback rich era. So maybe we were spoiled to that. But again, it's just recency bias with people. I always have a problem with that in sports because one thing happens, one game happens, and then it's like, oh yeah, this person or this team is the greatest ever. Nobody ever that came before was ever better. And it's one person is like, well, what about this? And it's like, oh, yeah, right. Oh, I forgot about them. And I feel like that's kind of how we are with Brock Purdy's season. I'm not trying to talk down on his season at all. I'm just comparatively, where does it rank up among other quarterback seasons? And like, is it just like if Aaron Rodgers is playing this season, does Brock Purdy is he getting blown out of the water by Aaron Rodgers? And I think Josh Allen's had a really bad season this season, actually. He has had to put the whole entire team on his back, and we've seen him have the most turnovers in the league as well at one point. Not anymore.
Yeah.
He's been playing a lot better recently, but this is one of his worst seasons as far as Josh Allen goes.
That's why I don't know why he's in your Passmore. Josh, like I don't, because CJ Stroud, I mean, he's having a better year than Josh Allen.
Just because, well, recently, this is of recency, up to week 16. Before CJ Stroud was up there, but then he had the concussion and he had a down week, and the Bills came back.
So with this, as far as what Mark's saying, the 0-3 record being held against Brock Purdy, that could be a point. But overall, accumulative stats, Purdy is having better numbers than everyone. I mean, am I going to knock him because, he lost 3 games? Like, no. I mean, they have the best record in the NFL.
Yeah, and I can't – I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying, like, is it just because everybody else in the league is that much worse that they look so good? Is
everybody else much worse than, Tua, Dak's year, CJ Stroud, Lamar's not having his best year. Jared Goff is okay. I'm just saying, like, if Aaron Rodgers was playing, would his numbers be that much better? That's Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. He's having his worst year.
Right. If he was having a better year, would he just be eclipsing everything?
I don't know either. I don't know either. That's what I'm saying. I got to take a look at it, and I'm going to go through like the years because, like I said, we've been very fortunate to grow up at least growing up for me, but you were being alive for him and being present in a very quarterback-rich era, like some of the best, and obviously the best quarterback of all time played for 20 years, and we got to watch that, and everyone had to try and beat him, right? So when you have the greatest of all time playing, obviously the playing level of everybody else has to be risen too to try and beat him. So the competition level is raised, and therefore the end product of everybody has to be better to be competitive. So I think maybe that's part of it. I want to take a look at it now that it's been a full season, but I'm not trying to take away anything that he's done in that regard or anything like that. But again, it's just like I hate when people do have the recency bias and they're like, Brock Purdy is fucking changing the world. Basically, the way they're reacting, like it's like, he's playing amazing. And honestly, I think he's like the next Tom Brady. I was the first person to say that. But also, I just want to know like how it ranks up. Bitch, I'm just saying, how does it rank up? We shall see. But enough of that. Enough of Brock Purdy talk. Let's get on to the power rankings. There it is. Everybody cry. Everybody cry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Cowboys fans, I'm sorry, y'all. I was rocking with y'all forever. But hey, man, you take a loss like that on the road against the Bills. It's not even just like about taking a loss. It's about how they lost. And that's why for me, they went down 3. For you, they went down 2 spots. But take it away. Tell us why the 49ers and the Ravens are the best in the league, man.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been playing the best ball, for the past couple weeks, if not the past month. 49ers took that dip earlier in the year, got healthy. And, I mean, it's going to be a great game Sunday, man. It's Niners versus Ravens, the 2 top teams. Like, it's a chance after this game, nothing may change at the top because they're just the 2 top teams. I can't penalize either.
There's a chance they might flip.
I mean, if the Ravens, if Lamar does, this whole, Lamar versus
the world
NFC type game, I'm just saying because it can get ugly when Lamar plays the NFC. I'm just saying, man, we'll see. So that was the top 2. The Cleveland Browns, a surprise team.
What?
People sleeping on the Browns because all year I kept saying their defense is great. It's all about the quarterback. They was winning games with PJ Walker. This guy. They couldn't get him off the team fast enough. PJ Walker waiting for Deshaun Watson to get healthy.
Poor PJ.
You bring back Joe Flacco, and they really had a chance to take over the division until they had Deshaun got hurt and he had DTR playing a couple games that set them back. But with Flacco on that field with this Browns defense, running back committee, with Hunt and Ford. The Browns can beat anyone. They can beat the Ravens. I think they can hang with anyone. And you put them in a alley fight with the Dolphins, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions. I think they'll whoop all of them. So that's why I got the Browns up there. Speaking of the Dolphins, this is your chance to kind of show you belong in the top 5. I vowed the Dolphins wouldn't come back to the top 5, but Tua and the whole team, besides Tyreek Hill, because he sat out, showed me a lot. I know it was the Jets, but still, they showed a lot. Just whooping them, right? And I was like, okay, you showed a little heart. You're going to be at home against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are terrible on the road. I'm just anticipating the Dolphins should be favored. So we'll see how that goes. The 4-5 matchup upcoming this week. Cowboys, you had a chance to secure the world. And, you just, Dak, same old Dak. I don't know. I mean, he's having a great year. I had a couple, slip ups. They're so talented, but there's those big moments, man. And again, this next game on the road against the Dolphins, that's going to make or break out the year, I think, for both of those. Whoever wins that team, that's going to catapult that team going into the playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs and not catapulting, the Eagles, oh, my goodness, man. You talking about having a 3-game losing streak. This is the worst time possible to have a 3-game losing streak.
Tough.
No one's blaming them losing against the 49ers or even the Cowboys. The way they lost to the Seahawks, it was like watching a horror movie. Like you saw, I was in that chat, our sports chat. I just I felt like something was about to happen. Like this is, you're anticipating a jump scare, and the Seahawks, beat them without Geno Smith. So that was a really tough loss for the Eagles. They're reeling now. The good thing for them, they played the Giants 2 times in the last 3 games. I think the other games against the Commanders, so they can win their last 3 games. Yeah, likely win a division. And everyone's going to forget this happened, right? So they're right there. They're not just, totally out. They're right there. Lions, they're pretty much where they need to be. Not in the top 5. Right? You got the Bills. I've been holding them on the bubble this whole time. I'm like, Bills, like, you're right here. Like, I need some signature wins. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Cowboys. Now the Bills are coming for the playoffs. That's going to be a scary team. You don't want to see Josh Allen in the playoffs. Nobody want to face this guy. Now they could beat anyone and they could lose anyone. So, who knows how that would go.
Fair.
Dad of the year, Matt Stafford and the Rams. You got Cooper Kupp feeling better about himself, too, with Puka Nacua. Tutu Atwell was banged up a little bit, but he'll be back. Kyron Williams is Marshall Faulk 2.0. The Rams are scary. You still got Aaron Donald. You still got Sean McVay and the coaching staff to win a Super Bowl. Scary team. They gave Ravens all they wanted a couple weeks ago. The Ravens didn't want to see the Rams, man. That was a close one. So Rams, I think they have one more against the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. That's probably I think it's the last game of the season. So that may matter for playoff significance for the Rams. The Niners may have it locked up.
Last game of the year.
Yeah. So last game. So we'll see. I mean, if that game's going to matter, but the 49ers may need that game. So that's going to be a really good game, last game of the year.
Yeah, it is.
Hanging on by a thread, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, terrible year for Patrick Mahomes. Like, I feel sorry for Patrick Mahomes. Austin making fun of him, putting wigs on him and shit, bro. Like,
I didn't do that, dude. I didn't do that.
It's like, bro,
I didn't do this, bro.
It's been a tough year for Patrick Mahomes. I can securely say, I mean, their defense is what's keeping them in the top 10. This Chiefs team, I was really debating if I was going to have them or the Bengals in the top 10.
Okay.
Now the Bengals, I think I have them in a bubble. I think that's why I put it. I had them on a bubble.
No, you didn't have them. You just did evaporated, you know what?
Dude. I anticipated they're going to just kind of fade. Like the Bengals, like they're playing good, but I think they're just going to kind of fade. Because when I Sparta kick someone, it's very forcible. It's like, oh, you suck. So that's just my philosophy with that. I was thinking like, oh, the Bengals maybe they're not quite top 10. So the Chiefs is there by default with the top 10. Real quick, bubble squad. My Colts, I keep trying to put them off to the Pastors, man. Like the Colts, they just keep kicking. They're tied for first place in the AFC South. I just didn't anticipate them, gutting this out. The Jags, all they got to do is just flip up one more time, and the Colts can actually win the division. That's crazy. Texans are tied with them as well. CJ Stroud may not play this week, so they may take, who knows? They try to win, but I couldn't put the Texans up here yet until Stroud comes back. And your Bucks. I had to get the Bucks some love. They got a nice winning streak going, inside track to their division. Of those three teams, Saints, Bucks, Falcons, the Bucks are the better collection of talent, better quarterback play. I think better coaching. I know you hate your coach. So I just think the Bucks, they should be the team standing, and so they got to get a little love on the Bubba squad there.
I appreciate that, man. 3-week win streak. No matter how you get it, and I think they had a really good, convincing win on the road there. I wanted to put them in the top 10, but I don't. I can't conceivably put the Chiefs out of the top 10 yet, especially since they just got a win on the road. I want to kick the Chiefs out very bad, but they're hanging on top 10, and the Buccaneers, I think if they go on and get another win this week, I should know who they're playing. I think they're playing the Jags. They're playing the Jags, actually. So that's very important. I think Trevor Lawrence went into concussion protocol at the end of the game last week. So Trevor Lawrence might not even be playing this week. So if the Buccaneers can take care of business at home, if the Chiefs slip up, then they might be going right out of my top 10. But our top 10s look pretty similar, man. 49ers, Ravens. The only thing is that you have the Browns at 3rd, and I have the Browns down there at 5. Just because Joe Flacco hasn't played the whole season, and I expect some slip-ups out of him. I expect when people get more film on Joe Flacco in this offense, that the defenses are going to be able to take more turns at him. But the Browns, man, top 5 defense, top 3 defense even in some categories. So I got them. Our top 5 is the same. It just depends on where the teams are. 49ers got the win, continue to roll. They're number 1. Ravens got the win, continue to roll, number 1. Same thing with the Dolphins, number 1. And I'd say even that ranking is based off of like how their defenses go kind of as well. Like not only are the 49ers and the Ravens been consistent and more consistent than the Dolphins, but I think the 49ers have the best defense, Ravens right underneath them, and then Dolphins under them. And the Cowboys, man, it's not just that you lost, it's how you lost. To go on the road and lose by that much just looked like dog crap. To look like last year's Cowboys, not even this year's Cowboys. If you forgot everything. There's no way that Sean McDermott and the Bills game planned that hard to make you guys look that bad. There's no chance that's what happened. I hope they get their footing this week against the Dolphins. If they lose, I hope it's a good loss. I hope they don't get the doors blown off them, and obviously playing in Miami where there's not lake effect, sleet and snow and rain coming in, and it's not cold. Hopefully they play a little bit better down in Miami. But that's one thing to look forward to in the playoffs. If the Eagles, they get home field advantage, that might be something that the Cowboys should be worried about if they have to go back to Philly and it's cold when they're playing in the playoffs. So I'm worried about the Cowboys, man. Like I said earlier, you don't want to see those types of losses at this time of the season. But then we have Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns right there at number 5. And I think they might stay there depending on if Joe Flacco just comes out of nowhere. Right now he's the game manager. But if he starts making some like highlight plays, I think they might have to go up above the Cowboys even. And that's another thing that I want to kind of in my argument of the elite quarterback play that we had the privilege of seeing. Joe Flacco is a part of that era, and he's coming in and like people are like, oh my God, look at Joe Flacco. It's like, no, it's just like he was a part of a time when competition was at its highest, and he's just making these people who are playing bad look very bad because he's playing up to his level, which is very good. Just might not be the greatest of all time, but he's very good. Joe Flacco is, and a Super Bowl winning quarterback at that. So shout out to the Browns, number 5. They're going to be a sneaky team come playoff time. And then the Eagles, I should have dropped them more. I felt like dropping them more, honestly. But since they've been, at the top all season long, and they still have that core group. But and after last night, I don't know if you went on Twitter, frauds was trending because the
Yeesh.
Philadelphia Eagles fans were so mad. They're calling themselves the Philadelphia Frauds with a PH. Yeah, dude. So yeah, dude, it's wild, bro. I'm telling you, man. Philadelphia fan base is different. It's a different animal. And they can't go on losing like this. They know they can't lose like this. People wonder, was Shane Steichen the reason why Jalen Hurts looks so good? He's got the Colts and Gardner Minshew playoff bound right now. It's Shane Steichen, the former offensive coordinator for the Eagles last year. Now without Shane Steichen, Jalen Hurts doesn't look like the same quarterback. So you got to wonder about that a little bit as far as their offensive game plan and things of that nature. Shane Steichen might be a coach of the year candidate too. Obviously not like as good as I forget his name. I always forget his name. The guy for the Texans. It's a shame on me.
DeMeco Ryans. Yeah.
DeMeco Ryans. I always want to call him Antonio Pierce. I know it's not. DeMeco Ryans. Yeah, he's a surefire coach of the year, obviously. But I think if he wasn't a part of that candidacy, Shane Steichen, Steve Steichen, whatever his name is, would be right there for the Colts. The head coach for the Colts, because they had the star quarterback go out at the beginning of the season. You have Gardner Minshew come in, and you're still a playoff bound team, playoff ready team. So that's a bubble squad on the Colts. But the Eagles, did you maybe want to pay your coach last year and keep him? Because without him, you guys aren't looking the same, and they are looking like shaky warriors, as I call it, shaky warriors. The Eagles, going into the playoffs, they better catch their footing soon, because they might drop on right down to the Chiefs, where the Chiefs are down in a couple of weeks. Hopefully not. Like you said, they have a couple of easy games. I think a couple of games against the Giants. So it should be some get back games. Now Tommy DeVito's knocked out too. Poor Tommy DeVito. But you got the Bills at 8. I got them at 7. I think they're better than the Lions. And I think the Bills have a better quarterback than the Lions quarterback. And we've been shown that over time. Josh Allen, I want him to have a year this year. I feel bad for him that the narrative is that they always get to the big stage and then they just crumble. I don't think that the Lions necessarily even deserve to get to the stage that the Bills deserve to get to. And the Bills are really coming around their coach right now. Like you said last week, with that hit piece that came out and everything with Sean McDermott, they're like, we got you. We got you. And it's a big thing for a team. So who knows? If you don't have to have Josh Allen cook either, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not even looking. I know. I'm not even looking. I don't even have my comments pulled up, bro. I'm just saying what I want. You're not gonna take me out of my flow, MTJ. No, not today. But the Bills, I think they also have a better defense, and they can go farther in the playoffs than the Lions have potential. But as of right now, Bills have been playing more consistently, my friend, than the Lions. The Lions just won a bounce back game. Before that, they lost against the Bears and the Packers. The Bills, like you said, have been putting together some marquee wins. So that's why I had to put the Bills above the Lions. And then you got the Colts on the bubble. I got them at number 9, actually, because of what they're doing with their team, all their stars that they have. Michael Pittman Jr., surefire number 1. Their defense, even without Shaq Leonard, they're still playing lights out. And Gardner Minshew is doing enough, man. They had some practice squad running back go out and have 65 yards on 11 carries for them because Zach Moss got hurt, I think. So the Colts just have a running back factory. They have a squad. They have depth. They have a great coach. And they have an organization that seems like, no one's talking about us. The same thing for the Buccaneers, in my opinion. No one's talking about us. Everyone wants to count us out. We're just going to keep winning games. And that's what the Colts are doing. And to me, they've been playing more consistently over the last couple of weeks than the Chiefs have. The Chiefs have looked awful. They've lost some close games. And I think really the only reason why they looked or had a 10-point advantage against the Patriots is because some bad calls. Chiefs are getting helped a lot by the refs. That's why I have them down there in yellow, because they got that referee flag on their side. I'm very skeptical about the Chiefs. they're going to make the playoffs. We know that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not a one and done this season. Even at home, they might be a one and done. And they just look awful. Me and you, I almost put, instead of burst the bubble, I almost put on the bubble, like on the bubble of getting kicked the hell out, Chiefs. So we'll see how this comes up this weekend. I will say, out of the Chiefs game against the Patriots, Travis Kelce had the worst flop of all time. All right. He had a dude who was a foot smaller than him push him over in the touchdown and sold his hands. Like, bro, you can get pushed over, actually. This is the NFL. Like, one of the worst things I've seen on the NFL like field from someone who's supposed to be a tough football player. And I just, after seeing that, I just want to say, like, no one ever compare him to Rob Gronkowski ever again. Like, you'll never see that happen. Him get pushed over by a cornerback? Come on now. But yeah, Israel's ready for the Sparta kick. Mahomes is looking like doo-doo. Yeah, I'm not even looking at Lions are not ready. I'm not poisoning anybody's opinion, guys. I'm just having my own. Bad calls against the Chiefs. Yeah, man. He's worse than a basketball player flopping. Yes. The flop was taught by Taylor Swift. Yo, the chat's going harder than I am, dude. I love it. The best part was the replay I saw of that is like Travis Kelce getting pushed over in the end zone and throwing his hands up. And then it cuts to Taylor Swift, who knows nothing about football, I assume. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, oh, who cares? Who cares? What are we doing? But the Sparta kick for me, it is a real Sparta kick this week, man. I know the Bengals kind of like for the Bengals, you just guided them out to pasture. Really, that's what
I'm just
did.
like I'm just gonna here, nothing forcible, no kick. All right, I'm sure he'll pop back in a second here, but yeah, the Bengals. Just to explain my stance with them, they're still a little banged up. Jamar Chase got a separated shoulder. So it's like they're right there hanging with the playoff race, but not quite top 10 to me. And I may put them in a bubble, but they may actually lose a game or two. So I'm like, you're just going to be just hanging out. You're just going to be hanging out on the outside of the top 10 and the bubble.
Dude.
The awesome hate for the Lions and Kelce is unreal.
Nah, dude. I don't hate the Lions. I'm back. And I love Dan Campbell, but some of the Lions fans, it's almost like some of the Cowboys fans.
Just because of the fans.
A little distaste in my mouth because of the fans. But I really don't like Travis Kelce. I really don't like him. I never liked him, and I've always thought he was a poor sport, bad loser. That's just my opinion. But as far as Sparta kick goes, we have Russell Wilson and my man Trevor Lawrence, the man of bewilderment. Unfortunately, we're looking at you, dog. Leonidas, looking at you.
Madness. This is Sparta!
That's you. Walking away. Peace out, Lions or Jaguars and Broncos. I almost said Lions. I want a Spartan voice. But leave this tab. Okay, here we are. I appreciate everyone being here for another power rankings. That is the dealio with the power rankings. Broncos, Jaguars, you're out in down the hole. And the Bengals, if they want to, they can go down there and, have a little snack if they need to. But right now they're out to pasture. They might be back. Jake Browning, he's playing really well, man. I will say that about the Bengals. They might be like a dark horse if I'm going to give a dark horse for this season. But how are you feeling so far about our power rankings show and the rankings today? How are you feeling about your rankings, and how much do you think they're going to change going in these last couple of weeks?
I'm not seeing no much change. I mean, these last 3 weeks, the Dolphins-Cowboys game has probably caused the most movement of anything. I'm feeling pretty settled on the top 10 unless the Chiefs kind of slip up. you know, and then someone from the AFC South may take that Chiefs spot. That's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the top 4 teams, or at least for me, the top 4, they're playing each other. Ravens, 49ers are playing each other, and Dolphins, Cowboys are playing each other this week. If only the Browns and the Eagles were playing each other, we can get all these head-to-heads, see all these teams flip and flop. But yeah, I think this is kind of like where it's going to be. The last 7 teams might, you know, come in and out of the top 10, maybe. This is pretty much the 10 teams of the season, and what a power ranking show it's been. What a season it's been, man. I can't believe it's almost over. But playoffs are coming, and yes, real talk. Free agent frenzy. As soon as I end the stream, I'm gonna go over to ESPN and I'm going to dissolve my team and whoever lost between Lobo and TJ. TJ, you might be losing your team, so they'll be dissolved. You'll be able to look at the free agents. I'll post it in our chat. I'll post it in the league chat on the fantasy app as well, so you'll get it notified there, and you'll be able to submit a waiver claim. Doesn't matter when you put it in. Doesn't matter if you're the first to put in the waiver claim or the last to put in the waiver claim. What matters is your waiver claim order. If you're first in that, then you'll have first dibs. That's just how it works. So, yes, Legion of Doom lost. Oh, man, John Enrique.
He already said TJ lost, so we got to –
Oh, no.
Disband his team. We got to disband his team.
Hey, MTJ, you don't get Sparta kicked from the playoffs when you make the playoffs, bro. You don't get Sparta kicked from the playoffs.
That was petty, bro. That was petty.
Unreal, dude. Unreal. Unreal. But, yo, do you have anything to promo for anybody before we get on out of here? We got the Thursday countdown that we'll be doing, obviously.
Yeah, so that's actually tomorrow, man.
We're all messed up. My bad.
Yeah. No, you good. So tomorrow is the Thursday countdown. Rams Saints, I believe.
Yep.
Who's playing? So that's gonna be an exciting game. Tomorrow I'm gonna see a few movies like in age groups. So you know, I was telling Austin I'm gonna probably watch Willy Wonka. That's like, you know, kind of a young movie. Then a little younger is Aquaman, and then I'll see Rebel Moon tomorrow evening with the adults. So looking forward to that. Also football. So tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. But yeah, it's Rebel Moon week, man. This is the time. Word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Call your friends, families, your cousins and aunties.
Call your mama.
Make sure they're locked in on Netflix. Definitely. We want as much engagement as possible, man. So this is exciting.
We gotta boost this movie through the roof. But yeah, we have the Thursday countdown tomorrow night. That'll probably be around like 7:30. Quick little stream about the Saints and the Rams, and then on after that at nighttime, there will be the watch along party we'll have on Skywalker's channel, and I believe it'll be probably a host of panelists watching it all along together. But 10 p.m. Eastern is when that'll happen, and 7 p.m. Pacific. Throughout the day tomorrow, it's a trending day for Cells GSJL to Netflix, Cells Snyderverse to Netflix. That is going to be happening from, I don't know, probably maybe 12 a.m. tonight or 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, but it's going to be happening all day long. There's going to be Twitter Spaces. So it's a community day. So if you have nothing to do tomorrow, if you're free tomorrow, still won't be there because he's going to be watching so many movies. But you'll be able to take part in this community and take part in Rebel Moon opening. This is like a celebration tomorrow. So not only will we have a little break, a little time to talk about sports tomorrow, but all day tomorrow we'll be talking about Rebel Moon. We're talking about Rebel Moon on Friday. And then Carlos said it in the chat. We'll be back on Saturday for Saturday Countdown and the good countdown on Sunday after that. So we're just full swing here, man. Rebel Moon's going to power me until infinity and beyond, bro. Basically, like I'm Buzz Lightyear. But we'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll be back on Saturday. So everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Obviously, we wouldn't have a fun show if it wasn't for everyone in the chat. If we couldn't talk shit to you all in the chat, it wouldn't be fun. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all, even though sometimes you might get on my nerves. I still love the shit out of y'all, so I appreciate you. And we'll be back tomorrow night. So from me and from Syl, I hope everyone has a good night.
and we'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, till next time. Peace.